The morning started like any other in our quiet cul-de-sac, until Grandpa threw open the back door with a snort loud, enough to startle the cat off the counter. "I swear she's lost her damn mind," he muttered, brushing past me in his faded veteran's hoodie. I was midway through making coffee, and without looking up, I asked, "Karen again?" Grandpa grunted, the kind of grunt that confirmed not just yes, but yes, and it's worse than usual. He slammed a folded piece of paper onto the kitchen table. "HOA letterhead." I braced myself. "She parked trucks in our garage," he said flatly. I blinked. "Wait, what?" "Two of them. Said they're her nephews, visiting from Arkansas or Arizona or some damn place. Left the key under our doormat like this is a Motel 6. I opened the paper. It was written in that bubbly cursive she uses to soften insanity. "Temporary storage just until Sunday," it read. "Thank you for being such a cooperative neighbor." No signature, no phone number. Just her smug initials and the HOA seal stamped at the bottom. Grandpa opened the blinds. I looked out the window, and there they were. Two massive diesel trucks, one red, one matte black, both backed in like they were claiming territory. "Completely blocked my workshop," Grandpa muttered, his jaw set. "I had lumber deliveries scheduled today. Why didn't she just ask?" I asked. "She doesn't ask," Grandpa said. "She assumes." And in that moment, Grandpa didn't say another word. He just grabbed the garage remote, walked outside, and hit the button. The garage door groaned shut with a vengeance. He turned the key in the side door, pulled it out, and slipped it into his pocket. Then, without a word, he walked back in and poured himself a coffee. "She can get them back," he said calmly, "after she explains herself to the sheriff." At 9:50 a.m., I heard the screech of Karen's heels on our gravel driveway. She was storming toward the garage like a woman possessed, HOA badge in one hand, cell phone in the other. "You can't lock them in!" she screeched, pounding on the garage door like it owed her money. Grandpa sat on the porch, sipping his coffee, completely unbothered. "I'm just securing my own property," he said without looking at her. "If someone left two bears in your kitchen, you'd close the door too." "They're not bears, they're trucks, and that's theft." "Then call the cops," he said. I already did. Minutes later, a sheriff's deputy pulled up, probably expecting a break-in. Not a neighborhood power struggle with suburban warfare vibes. Karen pounced. "I'm the HOA president, officer, and he's obstructing private transportation." The deputy held up his hand. "Ma'am, are these trucks registered to you?" "To my nephew," she snapped. "He's visiting." "I had every right." "Did he get your permission?" the deputy asked Grandpa. "He didn't. She didn't. Have ring camera footage of her opening my garage and backing them in." The deputy blinked. "Wait, you entered his garage?" Karen's confidence wavered for the first time. "It was temporary, and it's for the good of the community. We must maintain order." "Ma'am," the deputy said with a sigh, "you can't just enter private property without consent. That's trespassing, and what you described falls under unlawful entry." Karen's jaw hit the sidewalk. She actually stammered. The deputy didn't arrest her, unfortunately, but he did issue a formal warning and told her to remove the vehicles immediately or risk civil charges. She huffed off, red in the face and muttering about legal gray areas and community sacrifice. By noon, the trucks were gone, but Karen wasn't finished. At 3:15 p.m., the entire neighborhood got an HOA email blast. "Emergency meeting tonight. Security breach at Residence Store 17. "She's spinning it," I said, peeking over Grandpa's shoulder. He didn't flinch, just polished one of his old military medals with a little cloth. "If she wants a war," he said quietly, "she just picked the wrong general." That night, the HOA clubhouse was packed tighter than bingo night. Karen stood at the front, flanked by two flustered board members, looking like she was preparing a closing argument on a courtroom drama. "As HOA president," she began, "I made a reasonable request to store two vehicles temporarily. I was met with hostility, unlawful seizure, and public embarrassment." Someone coughed loudly. It sounded suspiciously like a laugh. "I believe this is indicative of a deeper breakdown in community cooperation." she said, eyes darting toward Grandpa, and must be addressed before things escalate further. Grandpa raised his hand. Calm, steady, quiet authority. Karen paused, sighed like a martyr, and nodded. Briefly, he stood. Tall, still. His voice was soft but cut through the room like a blade. I have security footage of the HOA president entering my garage without permission. That's not a breakdown in trust. It's a direct violation of private property. Murmurs filled the room. And I'm not alone, he continued. Several neighbors have similar stories. Surprise inspections, petty fines, power trips masked as policy. Hands shot up across the room. Mrs. Jenkins spoke up. She tried to fine me for my Halloween decorations being spiritually excessive. Another neighbor added. She cited me because my wind chimes interrupted neighborhood harmony. By the end of the testimonies, Karen looked like she was about to melt into her sensible flats. I propose a motion, Grandpa said. Effective immediately. This board reviews the conduct of the HOA, president, and imposes checks on unilateral access to private property. A chorus of seconded echoed around the room. The vote passed, overwhelmingly. Karen tried to protest something about bylaws and community image, but no one was listening. We walked out into the cool night, the stars just starting to blink into the sky. Well, I said, that went better than expected. Grandpa chuckled. She's not done. And he was right. 3 days of silence. Then, 5 citations landed in our mailbox, all from the HOA, all issued after the meeting. Infractions like grass blades exceeding 3.5 inches, improper flagpole height, unauthorized wind direction. Yes, wind direction. Grandpa read them one by one, face unreadable. Then he smiled. She's throwing spaghetti at the wall now, he said. Let's help her clean it up. He filed formal appeals for every citation, CCing the entire HOA mailing list, attached photos, time-stamped footage, even included a PowerPoint labeled evidence of normalcy. And still, Karen persisted. That Friday night, the Ring camera went off again. Karen stood at the edge of our driveway, phone in hand, taking photos, pacing, muttering. At 10:12 p.m., another knock on the door. Noise complaint, the same deputy said. Power tools? Grandpa opened the garage. Tools are cold. I've been watching Jeopardy for an hour. The deputy chuckled. Yeah, figured. This is the 4th call this week from that address. Grandpa invited him in, offered coffee, showed him everything, from the trucks to the fake citations. The deputy nodded. I'll forward this to our civil harassment team. She's escalating, I said when the door shut. Desperate people do, Grandpa said. Then he turned. But I've got one more move. What kind of move? I asked. He smiled. The kind that wins elections. That week, Grandpa submitted his candidacy for HOA president. The neighborhood was buzzing. No one had ever dared run against Karen. His campaign flyer was simple. No power games, no drama, just peace, privacy, and fairness. Karen went full throttle, professional signs, door knocking, even lawn workers, trimming her bushes in synchronized form. But Grandpa, he walked the block, shook hands, listened. The vote night felt like a town hall finale. Packed clubhouse, folding chairs, someone brought popcorn. Karen's speech? Polished, dramatic, corporate buzzwords and thinly veiled warnings. Grandpa's? I'm not running to lead. I'm running to serve. I don't want power. I want peace. The room burst into applause. When ballots were counted, Grandpa won, by a landslide. Karen stormed out before the numbers were even read. A board member handed Grandpa a folder labeled Transition Materials. Inside, dozens of unresolved complaints she'd buried. Grandpa flipped through them, smiled, and said, Well, looks like we've got work to do. That night we sat on the porch. Grandpa sipping sweet tea, crickets chirping. She gonna move? I asked. She'll appeal first, he said. But it doesn't matter. The neighborhood chose peace. And the trucks never came back. The next day, Grandpa hung a new sign above his workbench. Karen Free Zone. If you liked that takedown, make sure to hit like and subscribe. Got your own HOA drama? Drop it in the comments. We read everyone. Because around here, The porch may be quiet, but Grandpa's always ready.